Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. It was a great weekend of fights. It was a great weekend of fights. Let me tell you. That Loma and that Devin Haney fight. I'm gonna say that was one of the best fights I've seen in a very, very long time. Technicality wise. All right. Anybody who was watching that fight, who was a fan of boxing, could have learned something. Like, I don't think there was any point in that fight where I could say I was bored. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody do something. Somebody needs it. You know what I mean? It was that type of fight. It was a great fight. All right. And we had some good commentary. I mean, I'm talking about post fight commentary. I mean, it was people talking about robberies, people saying that Loma won clearly. Some people are saying that Devin Haney won clearly. I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts on that. We got a fight announcement. I'm not gonna go too crazy on this fight announcement, but this right here is gonna be a barn burner. At least we would hope so, right? At least we would hope so. And the one person I'm definitely want to talk about is Paulie Malignaggi. Y'all know how this man goes off. Y'all know exactly what type of stuff he likes to bring up. And every time, I feel like every time he talks, he's bringing up a specific group of people, a specific group of YouTubers. All right, we're going to talk about it. Let's go.
Definitely slow down. Roll with him and hope.
Yo. Let's go. Let's just go. Let's just go. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. That Devin Haney fight. All right, listen. Y'all heard what I was talking. I was talking that mess all weekend. Well, all week leading up to the fight. Okay. I think that it could have went either way. All right. So I wouldn't have been mad if Loma won. I wouldn't have been mad if Loma won. I'm not mad that Devin Haney won because I truly believe Devin Haney won that fight. All right, I really do. Like I'm sitting up here watching the fight with my lady, and she even saw that the fight was good, and it was a close fight, but it was a clear win for Devin. I wouldn't have been mad at a tie, but it was a clear win for Devin. In the beginning of the fight, Devin Haney was throwing body shots that seemed more effective than whatever Lomachenko was throwing. All right, it was way more effective. So I don't know what a lot of people were seeing. I guess I mean Las Vegas was filled up with Lomachenko fans. They were filled up with Lomachenko fans, so you heard the chanting and the screaming for him. I heard Keyshawn Davis talking all that mess like, oh man, wasn't this supposed to be Devin Haney's homecoming? This and all that or whatever case may be, man. I personally thought that Lomachenko would have been able to get in there and it kind of tap Devin up a bit. Devin displayed a chin, and he went through with his fight plan, with his game plan. All right, so shout out to him, man. Let me give you your flowers, man, because you fought a fight that I was surprised about. I didn't think you would be able to pull that off, and you fought very well, my man. You definitely deserve the win in my part. I know there's a lot of haters on you. You deserve that win. One thing I don't really like. I hate the fact that Lomachenko's always making up excuses on the fact that, I mean, as a champion, as a fighter, you're gonna think that you won fights and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I get that. You fought your heart out, and you deserve that you believe that you deserve the nod by the judges, right? Uh, but what surprised me, well, actually, it shouldn't surprise me. We had commentators and ex-fighters saying it was a clear win for Lomachenko. All right, I want to go ahead and get this off the screen here, but I want to go ahead and get into my I want to get into my reaction to a specific fighter. I want to get into my reaction. I wasn't able to watch this full thing. That's why I want to react to it with you guys. All right, let me turn this off real quick. We're gonna get into the reaction after the show. Yo. We back. Welcome back. We're gonna get it in. Listen. We're gonna get into this reaction, all right? We're gonna get into this Paulie Malignaggi reaction, right? But before we get into that, I want to talk about this fight that's getting ready to happen. It's against all right, so it's against one person that could be a star, and another person that is looking to become a star. You know what I mean? And one of them just took a loss. All right, Richardson Hitchins versus Montana Love. All right, Montana Love is from Ohio. All right, looks like he's suspended by the Ohio Athletic Commission indefinitely after what he pulled with Spark. Right, he's 28 years old. All right, they call him Too Pretty. You know what I mean? He's 5'8" from Cleveland, Ohio. His record is 18-1 with 9 KOs. All right, his amateur record is very low, like which means he doesn't have much experience, but he's a very athletic fighter. All right, he kind of reminds me of a Broner. All right, he reminds me of a Broner type fighter, but he doesn't have that type. He doesn't have that type of skill. I would say that he has the demeanor of a Broner, kind of arrogant. You know what I mean? He has that arrogant kind of demeanor. So, but after what he pulled with Mr. Spark, he looked like he was about to throw him off over the ropes because he was frustrated. He was kind of getting beat on, right? But there's a dude that wants to fight him. He called him out, and this dude doesn't really like Montana Love. All right, his name is Richardson Hitchins. All right, Richardson Hitchins, he's 16-0. He's a young man. He's like a young man coming up. And I like to think of him as one of the guys who he reminds me, he's in a class with Shushu, Keyshawn Davis, all of those guys that be in those camps that kind of want to resemble Shakur Stevenson and his style. Remember how Mayweather was in the gyms doing his shoulder roll and he looked kind of smooth, he's doing the thing, and everybody wanted to emulate him. This is how Shakur is going to end up being, and these are like kind of like Shakur's doppelganger style fighters. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
And you know that's right.
So Richardson Hitchins, all right, he's 16-0 with 7 KOs. He has a really good boxing style. Now, both of these guys, well, I'm looking at right now. It says he's suspended by the New York State Athletic Commission indefinitely too. What the hell is he doing? I don't know what he did. But Richardson Hitchins, he's 25 years old. All right, 16-0, 7 knockouts. All right. His amateur record is a little bit more colorful. All right, he fought Jermaine Ortiz, he fought Virgil Ortiz. Montana Love, he fought Rashidi Ellis and lost to Rashidi Ellis, and Javante Clark. These are some good fighters that they lost. But when I looked at Richardson Hitchins, amateur background, he lost to Gary Russell Jr. about 4-5 times, and Jaron Ennis and all this stuff. But when I look at Richardson Ennis, he looks like a very polished fighter, very disciplined and polished fighter, but it's against the opposition that he's been against. It's not really, up to par. It's not really up to par, whatever the case may be. You guys look these guys up. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that fight right there. Yeah, let me know how y'all feel about that fight. I'm excited about it. It kind of reminds me of like a Frank Martin, Keyshawn Davis type of matchup because, they've been talking stuff on social media and things like that. It should be a very good fight, very athletic fight. Hopefully it's not one of those like fill out fights. Both of these guys are like, oh, they're gonna have 8 fill out rounds. Like I'm not I'm not trying to do that. 8 fill out rounds is not gonna be cool, but it should be a barn burner. It actually should be a really good fight. Get these guys off. You know what I'm saying? But so we're gonna get in. All right. So I know, without further ado, we're gonna get into this reaction with Paulie Malignaggi. All right, we're gonna get into it after this. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Now this Joker, man, he always got something to say. Let's man, we know how he be, man. We know exactly how he be, man.
Body's performance tonight.
I thought he did a really good job. I thought he let the knockout develop, and then he went and took it. He broke his opponent down little by little, an opponent that had never been stopped before. And then he took his time to work like a professional and got the stoppage.
You think this is the guy that could compete in the
Okay, he's talking about that Nakatani.
The main reason I wanted to come talk to you was get your reaction of Haney and Loma last night.
I think the reaction of the whole boxing community itself speaks for itself. Listen, I was going to, praise Haney for some.
Mind you, you know that Paulie Malignaggi was talking hella mess about Haney, man. He swears him and Haney fight the same. I don't know, man. You can. I think that Paulie Malignaggi has a weird little bias against him, as if it's like he be throwing personal shots at Devin. You know what I mean? He throws personal shots at Devin. I just wanted to preface it with that.
The things he did well last night, because Haney surprised me. Some of the things he did well, better than I expected him to. But he still lost the fight. I mean, it's clear as day he lost the fight. Everybody knows he lost the fight. As a matter of fact, everybody in boxing, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 people, I mean, it's almost unanimous at this point that everybody felt like he lost the fight. He was losing the fight. But it's boxing politics. There's more of a future for a 24-year-old as an undisputed champion than there is for a 35-year-old. And unfortunately, the business of boxing doesn't.
He would make any excuse to not give Devin Haney his credit. Like that's to me, that's weird. But he also resonates with Devin Haney, right? He also resonates with Devin Haney because of the fact, both of them are perceived as like, pure boxers. When Paulie fought, he was considered a pure boxer. He didn't have pop. He's gonna say there's boxing politics on his side, and there could have been boxing politics on Loma's side as well. And how is he? And listen,
Have any respect. It doesn't discriminate. It will what's the word I'm looking for? It will jam it in you, regardless of what reputation you have.
Just a couple things on that fight, and he did put in a lot of body work. You could have scored it a draw.
I think if you're really generous, you can score a draw. I think anything more than a draw, you're a scumbag. I think if you give Haney every round that he does something in, including rounds where Loma does more than him, but Haney still did some things, because you don't score a round just because the other guy did something. Sometimes the other guy does more. So there's rounds.
If you're not looking, man, if you're looking at the fight like that, and I'm one to talk. I kind of wanted Loma to win that fight. Like if we're being honest, I wanted it to be a good fight, but I was thinking that Loma was going to do his thing and beat him down. So with that lens, me looking at it at that lens, and I'm still able to see that Devin Haney won the fight, to me, I think that's clear. I'm over here looking for Loma to do more, but every time Loma tried to do something, Devin Haney had something to combat it, and his shots were more eye-catching and more effective. So I think he's trying to project for the side of Lomachenko. Like he kind of put he don't want to give Devin Haney his credit for this win, and it was a great win.
Loma did everything and he won those rounds. But then there's also rounds where Loma did more than Haney, but Haney did some things. And then there's rounds where, you know, Haney won the rounds, right? So if you give Haney even the rounds where he did a little bit, but he still didn't do enough to win the round, but he did some work where you found an excuse, oh, hey, I like that he did that, I give him the round. Even though it's not enough, but you're looking for a reason to give Haney a round, which is not the way you're supposed to score a fight anyway, then you can maximum get in 6 rounds, maximum. If you find 7 rounds under that criteria to give him the rounds, you're a dirt scumbag. And you were rooting for Haney from the start, and it's obvious. So, you know, and I think the biggest proof, I was recently, somebody sent me a screenshot of the DraftKings round by round. And this is something, the actions of the lines are something that really reflect on the public and the public opinion of how things are going.
Talk, Joker.
Lomachenko at the first bell started the fight at plus 200 after starting at plus 275 initially. So all the late money was coming in on Lomachenko. More importantly, at the start of round 12, if you go to live bets on DraftKings, Lomachenko was minus 500.
No way. Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious, and I'll show you the screenshot on my phone.
What a point.
So what? So what though? No. So what? So at the end of so he's saying that basically Las Vegas, they, you know how they switch the betting odds based off of who they think is winning. You know, you can win more money for the person that, you know, that can come back from a win or whatever the case is. They're the ones that show you who's winning and who's not. If he was minus 500, what was Devin Haney? Does that mean he was plus anything? Remember, he was the favorite. So it could have been minus 500 and minus 250. Like neither one of those guys were gonna, you know, neither of those guys were gonna win anything. You know what I mean? You're not gonna win much money on either one of those guys. But the thing is, that just means that it was a closer fight than it was expected. Because Devin Haney is younger, he had all the advantages: the size, the youth, and not, I wouldn't say experience and all, but the size and youth. That's what was, and momentum. That's what was giving him the edge. That was what was giving Devin Haney the edge. So what he said right there is irrelevant. There was no reason for him to mention it. Again, this is how you know his bias is coming out, where he's trying to find any reason for it to be a political loss, or a political win for Devin Haney. Loser.
But those numbers are irrefutable.
And you know somebody has no argument when they start giving like ad hominem attacks at you. Oh, you're a scumbag if you do this. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't have any like boxing intellect to actually give an argument if you're going to call somebody a scumbag.
Irreplaceable and do not lie. If everyone is to move the line from plus 200 to Lomachenko to minus 500, that means all of the money from during the live betting is coming in on Lomachenko, because everybody and their moms believes Lomachenko is winning the fight. So everybody can give you all the opinions now, which most of them are for Lomachenko anyway. But even you dirtbags out there, I know why you listen. Let's be honest.
Let's talk.
Let's be frankly honest.
Let's frank.
Let's go where nobody wants.
Let's
to
go where no way. Let's.
The small percentage of people that still had Haney winning the fight and are happy that Haney got this decision are the ones that are happy the white guy lost. That's it. That's the small percentage of people. Because even most everybody, black, white, Spanish, everybody I've talked to, and you see them in public, you see them even publicly stating things, all have Lomachenko winning the fight.
See? Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about? I think ever since Broner beat on him and then took his girl, everything's been a race issue. Everything's been a race issue. Before then, y'all remember Paulie Malignaggi, you know, he was with the brothers, you know what I'm saying? He was with the brothers, and I think he's trying to directly bring his point to the LDBC boxing community. I know you guys know about the LDBC boxing community, Lions Den boxing community. You know what I mean? These guys, a lot of them jokers that's over there, they're fans. They're fans of Devin Haney and black fighters. Period. They big up black fighters. Devin Haney, Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence. You know, true black fighters who don't mind, you know, expressing their blackness. That's and you know, they also go by a lot of truth that goes on that's not being highlighted, where it's almost like what Paulie Malignaggi is doing, trying to not credit Devin Haney for this win, and it's just weird. It's like him versus the LDBC, or him versus the black community, and that's what's keeping this dude alive. So weird. He wants to jump on that so much just so he could be relevant. Just so he could be relevant.
If you have Haney still winning the fight, aside from the 3 judges, which we know are in the bag, right?
I would say, but the 3 judges are all white. All 3 judges white. Oh, but all the black people, you know, all the black people, they're all voting for you guys already knew that Devin Haney. You acting like we don't know what you talking about? You acting like we don't know what you talking about? Weirdo. He's a weirdo. That's why he got fired. That's why he got fired off of Showtime. Dead serious. Because this weirdo is always trying to take the low-hanging fruit, to think that if people thought that Devin Haney won, it's all because of race or political. Wouldn't you think it would be more political towards Lomachenko? You loser. Yeah, I'm throwing ad hominems at him because he's throwing it back at me.
Aside from them, and yo, I got one more little tidbit for you. I'll break it to you here. Bob re-signed Haney 2 nights before the fight.
Cat.
Okay?
No way.
2 nights before the fight.
Stop the cat.
Cat.
Crazy. I appreciate you, Paulie.
Cat.
God bless.
They already debunked that. I think I already heard somebody debunk that already. That's Cap. That's Cap right there. So hold on. So let's get this off. So irregardless, hey man, let's give it up for Paulie Malignaggi for trying to stay relevant. Let's just give it up for him, man. You know, I do appreciate his commentary on a lot of stuff, though. To keep it real, he gives people stuff to talk about, right? He says this dude had a majority decision. And I personally believe if Devin Haney didn't win that last round, it would have been a tie, because that 12th round was very important. Again, my girl don't even watch boxing like that. She just started getting into the boxing world, and she saw herself that it was a close fight, but Devin won based off of the eye-catching shots that was going on in the beginning. The dude Lomachenko did not throw enough variety. He didn't throw any. It was like he barely threw body punches when Devin Haney was actually targeting the body. It looked like Devin Haney had a plan, while Lomachenko was trying to look for his plan. Devin Haney was doing what he wanted. Straight like that. Hey, yo, this video done went on for too long. Let me get this man off the stage. All right. Yo, welcome, and thank you. Thank you for coming in to Unanimous Decision. We getting y'all over the hump. I told y'all I will see y'all on Wednesdays. All right. Y'all let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about the video. Let me know how I did. All right. Make sure y'all come back. And until next time, we out.
You